Before we begin, I want to say that the thoughts and opinions expressed in this video are not intended to hurt anybody, as I was raised by a loving family and surrounded by a group of friends that express the same sentiments of love, equality, fairness, and care. Yeah. We do not tolerate any type of discrimination based on ethnicity, culture, background, religion, or orientation. Now, with that being said, if the opinions of mine in this video hurt you, I want to sincerely say, nigga, you's a bitch. Now that we address that, right, as you can see by the headline of the article, Imane Khelif has been banned from all World Boxing associated events, right? So that would include the Olympics. Now, me personally, I don't care how you identify, whether that is a king, a queen, or anything in between. In your personal life, I don't really care. Be happy, you know? But when we're talking about sports, the act of separation is actually an effort of fairness and equality, and I'll explain that in this video. Let's get it popping.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? Thanks for tuning in to your favorite boxing channel, Dr. Boxing Talk, and we're back for another YouTube video banger, man. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I don't know what time it is. A doctor's in the house, man. So check this out. As you can see from the intro, Imane Khelif, who has won gold in the Paris Olympics for boxing, has been banned, you know, up until further notice. Now, I know a lot of people will think, oh, this is discrimination, and that's okay if that's what you want to think, but you have to know the facts, and I've been keeping up with the story, so I want to give you some of these facts, right? The World Boxing Association, that is now in charge of handling a lot of these boxing events, international boxing events, and some national boxing events, including the Olympics, has come out with a mandate, and they are mandating that all participants, particularly adults over 18, have to provide some documentation to prove their gender. And I don't think anything is wrong with that. You know, I kind of question why this wasn't enforced before, because they have protocols in place that were administered to actually separate people by categories, and one of those categories includes your sex, right? Whether you're a male or female, or boy or girl, however you want to put it. And now it's just being enforced in another way by the World Boxing, right? And I think World Boxing is onto something. This is what should be done, because like I said in the intro, you know, the action of separating in everyday life, you know, when you talk about economically or socially, that is wrong, right? You know, when we talk about fairness and pay, equality and opportunities and stuff, that separation and exclusivity is wrong. But we talk about inclusion, and when we talk about fairness in the realm of sports, actually separating people by characteristics, you know, by certain categories, you know, categorical separation is actually an act and an effort of fairness to ensure that people are competing on a level playing field. And one of those biggest things is your gender, right? You know, so this is requiring that, you know, not just Imane Khelif, but everybody has to submit some type of documentation to prove that they are competing in the right category when it comes to male and female, right? So this is not really an indictment on Imane Khelif, right? So whether he, she, Imane, don't want to offend anybody, whether Imane wants to compete or not, it's not a problem. But if you do want to compete, you have to provide this documentation. And the crazy part is, since winning the Paris Olympics, Imane has not provided any type of documentation to say that they are who they say they are, you know what I'm saying, as far as gender goes. So, you know, whether you want to believe them or not, to me, that's inconsequential. I don't care how you want to handle your life or what you identify as going on in your personal life or your personal dealings. However, when it comes to sports and it comes to ensuring that people are competing on an even playing field, then that's why it's important. Like, it's not important for any other thing. So anybody making this a situation or an issue of anything outside of the realm of sports, I think that you're wrong, no matter which side of the fence you are, or which side of the fence you are on. This is only to preserve equality and fairness in the realm of competition. And whether you talk about separating an 18-year-old from a 10-year-old, or are you talking about separating a 200-pounder from a 100-pounder, or you're talking about separating a male from a female, all that is in an effort to ensure equality and fairness when it comes to competition. And this is no different, you know? Yeah. And in fact, they even identified a way to do so, right? So now they're doing polymerase chain reaction testing, which is or PCR, right, which is a genetic test that has over a 97% accuracy in testing when it comes to identifying males from females at birth amongst adults, right? So this is great, you know, so they're fairly accurate, highly accurate when they come in to tell you, oh, this person belongs in this category, this person belongs in that category. So it's not a knock on Imane. If Imane can provide this or is willing to undergo these tests, then they have no problem with letting them compete. But until they do so, which they haven't done so yet, you know, right now, Imane has been focusing on the lawsuits against those that have been defaming Imane, like Elon Musk and like some others, right? J.K. Rowling and some others, in order to get monetarily compensated. And they deserve that. That's their personal dealings. But when it comes to actually competing and justifying what category that they should be in compared to what they want to be in, then they haven't done anything as far as moving forward with that. So as long as they do that, you know, and everybody else, not just them, then they'll be fine to compete in the same category that they were always in, or according to the test that provides whether it's in concurrence with them and their position, or it's telling them to go over there. Nah, buddy, you belong over here.
No, did he?
You know, so I don't think this is a problem at all. I actually think it's good. It's ensuring the welfare of these people that are competing, especially in a hard sport like boxing, you know, a combat sport. I think this is nothing more than appropriate. And in my opinion, if you are against this, then I mean, that's you're making it something that it doesn't have to be, you know. So I think that this is nothing but fair. You know, it's not disqualifying anybody just based on who they are. It's saying, okay, bet, Imane and everybody else, you have an opportunity to show me that you belong in this category that you identify as. And if not, we're not saying that you can't compete. You just can't compete over here. Because unfortunately, in this life that we live in, people will bend and break the rules for selfish reasons. And some of those selfish reasons being that they want an unfair advantage. I mean, look at the people that put PEDs in their system to get an unfair advantage. Look at the people that do other things. When it comes to other, even outside of sports, you know, people will always bend the rules or break the rules, and it's never a problem until they get caught. So once again, I'm not incriminating Imane. I'm saying that Imane, along with everybody else, has the opportunity to take these tests and provide documentation, and then you will be allowed to compete how you want. But so this is not a ban against Imane. This is not an attack on Imane or anybody individually. It's just saying, hey, we're changing the rules. We are mandating that everybody goes through polymerase chain reaction genetic testing, you know, or PCR. And then once that comes back, according to those results, we will place you appropriately, man. So I think this is great. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully Imane will provide the documentation to justify the category that they would like to compete in, you know. So I think that they could do so, and they have the opportunity to do so in the next Olympics, according to World Boxing, you know. So let's see how it goes, man. Salute to World Boxing for doing the right thing. And y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comments, man. Y'all be easy, take care of yourselves. Remember, most importantly, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we are nothing. Don't forget to like the video. We out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.